Welcome back. Module 2, Professor Fiske, last micro lecture of the module. I want to talk about keywords and identifiers in Python. Now, as I've said in all of my videos, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Hit the button. Hit the button. I know this says no.
This is my last word. No!
Hit that like and subscribe button, please. It helps tremendously. Otherwise, let's jump into the content. So, why are keywords and identifiers important? Well, when we name our variables, we name our classes, when we name our functions, we want to make sure that we're using words we are allowed to use. Now, with that being said, it's very important to know that there's a certain naming convention that we use when we name things, okay? Camel case, Pascal case, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to go into that because in Python, we don't use camel case and we don't use Pascal case. Everything is in lowercase, and there's a reason for that. It's a scripting language. Scripting languages are always in lowercase. Same thing with JavaScript and PowerShell and Perl. And any other scripting language you might be using. PHP is a scripting language, I guess. It isn't. It's just weird. But either way, what is a keyword in Python? Well, keywords are predefined words that we use for other things. Words like def, if, elif, while, break, jump, things like that. Those are all keywords. I don't think jump's a keyword. Go to, break, continue, for, range. Those are all keywords, and they're identifiers for other things. The idea behind this is that there are certain actions we need to perpetrate in our code that allows us to go back or do things that we need to reserve so we don't use those identifiers in other places. Now, most of these identifiers you are going to run into while you're in my class and in the real world. There are other identifiers that you may never see again. Identifiers you will run into on a regular basis are and, or, not, if, elif, else, for, while, break, as, def. Some that you might not run into, lambda. I run into that a lot now, but not as much as I used to. More now than I used to. Pass. Never seen that in my life. I've never seen it. I've never used it before. If you don't write tests, you may never run into assert. If you don't write very interesting use case if statements, you won't run into except. Non-local is another one. But all of these are keywords that you're not allowed to use in your code at all, bar none, no questions asked, if you are trying to define your code via variables or definitions for functions. Because, let's say I use a reserved word like continue. Well, the word continue actually means something. It's a jump statement. It says the word continue actually means if I am in a loop, do not run any more lines in this loop. What I would like you to do is to skip all of these lines and go back to the top of the loop and run the next iteration. That's what the word continue means. And as you can see here, it's literally black graying out everything else because it's saying, well, I don't need to run you because what I'm supposed to be doing is going back to the top of the loop, but there is no loop here, so this is going to break. Invalid syntax, because this is a reserved word. Just like if, elif, and so on and so forth. It's easier to name your variables things that matter. So when you name your variables things that matter, it's important that you name your variables a noun. I understand that the vaunted pronoun has a very interesting space in our society today, but really nouns are the winners, okay? The noun is important. So when you're writing your code, if you want to ensure your developer knows what you're talking about, do not be cryptic or implicit, be explicit and write more, right? First name, if this is not enough, you can say first name of the dog. That's totally fine. You're totally allowed to do that, and that prevents you from having to write copious comments. When you write function names, it is important that you write your function names as verbs. You write your function names as verbs. That means it is doing something because we don't declare a function, we execute it. Okay? We don't declare the function, we execute the function. The function is not taking a space in memory. The function in and of itself is running a set of programming statements, a block of programming statements. You can be as succinct as print. You can be as detailed as print the page. That doesn't exist right now, and so it's going to fail. But if I had a function called print the page, just for the sake of our return, right? I can encapsulate the print function inside of another function, and then when I run this, it'll print. And now I have a function called print the page because I initted a function. If you want to use functions now, you're totally allowed to. Ensure yourself the following: if you run a function in any scripting language, ensure that it's at the top of the stack. Other than old school vaunted scaffolded functions in JavaScript, all other functions need to be above the code running it, or you're going to be in for a world of hurt. That's all I wanted to talk about in this micro lecture. This is the last micro lecture for chapter or module 2 of programming logic. I am your professor, Professor Fiske, and I look forward to seeing you guys in module 3. Hit that like button and subscribe.
No!
Do it. I've been really having a good time doing this, and as I say in all my videos, good luck, have fun, ciao.